Okay, let's see. Am I going? Am I working? Is it working? Okay, let me get back to what I was doing. Let's see, sort of making this here game. We're making a tactical battle system. Let's see how it's currently working. Let's do much. Fix that later. Okay, so right now you click on this, and we're gonna enter a player phase. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's go through the code. What I've built. Basically, I'm trying to do something like Shining Force. I've only just recently started on this, so let me get rid of some things. What do I want to get rid of? First off, I want to get rid of this annoying sound. I don't need this music playing. Okay. Let's see where I was at with my code. And so I will be vibe coding most of this, which is just using AI, which has been pretty great. So where I'm at now is that I needed, let's see, did I apply these changes? I don't even know if I applied these changes. Let's see, I'm trying to add, call this battle system. Okay, so let me take a look at this. So I need to select an argument for troop selection. So did I do any of this? Let's see. Let's go ahead and apply all these changes. So yeah, I'm applying changes. Let's go ahead and just accept all these for now. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What should be happening here is that I have some events. They need to have a player unit along with their actor, but I also need to have this command so that when I start, okay, great, I got a troop ID now. Awesome. Lets me select what troops I want, which is what I'm trying to do. So great. So now let's take a look. I've got this guy who's an enemy unit with an enemy one. And let's see what else I'm trying to do here. Oh yeah, I gotta check out the troops. So let's just go with troop one for now. Okay. So then what next? Okay, I think I got my bearings. I haven't worked on this in a little bit of a while, but so now what we've got here is I've got a map, and the map is supposed to start a battle system, sort of like Shining Force. So I've got a map, and I've got some characters. Now what I need to do is I need to get my characters, and then my enemies need to be here. So for my troop, I need to have an enemy for each troop. Let's go enemy unit. I guess he should be enemy 2. And I guess I'll go ahead and give him same guy. So there's 2 people here. And who's in my party? If I think about the party, the starting party has all these people. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 player unit, actor 2. Let's go ahead and copy that. Let's give them, just say that's that person. We're gonna go 3. Actor 3, give them this person. Oh yeah, stepping, apply, okay. Let's make sure they're stepping. Apply, okay. This guy should be stepping as well. I want them all stepping. Let's see if they'll actually be stepping when this goes down. Four. Stepping. Okay. Let's see. So now, save all this. Oh, look. War map manager is, oh, okay. So that I think has to do with player 2, actor 3, actor 4, enemy unit, enemy 1, enemy 2. Okay, so when you start, let's save the changes. What was happening here? So I've got an error right away. Something's happening. I'm gonna start this, and we see that my Pathfinder is having a problem here. The war map manager is not defined. So simple as here's the vibe. We get this. We're gonna go to our AI. I get this error when the battle starts. The battle start command executes. So there's something going on in, what was it, the Pathfinder on line 79. So we're starting the scene map update. And when you update it, it's getting this war map manager, so it's not working. So it's going to explain what's going on because the war map is trying to access the war map manager before it's defined. So we do need to ensure the plugins load in the correct order. So let's make sure you expose war map manager to the window object in war map core. So let's go ahead. Then it's going to say then in plugin JS, sure the plugins are loaded in the correct order. So it wants the core, the Pathfinder, and the battle, which I think is the way we got it. But either way, let's take a look. And then it says, let's take a look right here. Do I have that plugin? I think that's in the data plugins. Plugins. See, core, Pathfinder, the battle manager. So it is set the correct way. I do have a different one just to set up the status, or just to pull open the the inspector tools here. So let's keep going. So that's fine. The order is important. Yeah, I get it. Let's modify the scene map update in Pathfinder to be more defensive. Okay, so let's go ahead and just make these. Makes sense. Everything makes sense. Let's apply it. The war map core. You can see I apply them and it just starts applying. Let's see what's going on. So it just adds it to the window. Makes sense. Accept all. Now let's apply these guys over here. Well, we have this. This is fine. I don't want to mess with that. So I want to go to the Pathfinder. Let's just go ahead and press the apply button. Let's see what happens here. So it's just got this one change saying if the window war map manager is active, which wasn't there, and that the instance is active. So sure, that's just all it adds, and it adds it, removes it from down here. So yeah, sure, let's accept all. So now it should fix that error. Let's see if it does fix that error. Let's go back and start all this again. Well, we're still getting this error, so let's tell it. Let's tell it what we got. It's this simple usually. The war map manager needs to be exposed a little bit more. So we're going to get the manager out before the core. Then it's going to update the core to use the manager. Okay. And then it's going to update the Pathfinder to check for the manager. So let's go ahead and change it. Let's see what happens. First, let's go to this guy. Apply this. It's going to make a new command, new file. First, I want to make this change. What is this? Oh, it's trying to make. Hold on. Hold on. Let's discard all this because I don't want this. Is it saying to make a new file? So let's go ahead and clear this. Revert all that. So let's do this number. This is what we're supposed to do. Create a file from this snippet. So there you go. Now I've got a new. It did not put it where I wanted it to be. So let's see. I want to put it over here. So let's put it there. Okay, so it's in its new file. let's go ahead and apply this to this guy. So let's find the plugin file. Apply this. See if it's gonna get it right. I could just copy and paste it, but I'm vibing right now. So leave me alone. Yeah, I shouldn't update it. I see what it's saying. What I should do is I should just instead close this out, come over here, start up this new guy, turn it on, and I want to move it above all the rest, is what it's really telling me. Because this is going to get overwritten anyway. So let's just get rid of this file. Because when I save it, it's just going to fix that anyway. So we got that. Then we want to use the core. Sure, what's it doing? It's trying to update to use this manager instead of using what it was using. Okay, let's go ahead and update this guy. You can see it adds, well, it removes some stuff. It removes all this. What does it add? It adds this guy down here, restoring. So blah, blah, blah. What does it want? Okay, so it adds those comments. So it removes all that. Okay, great. So now that's how that works. So it moved some of this code that was in here, pulled it out to this guy. Okay. Then it says the Pathfinder and movie replaces or it updates this too to apply this. Let's see if this fixes anything. What is this gonna fix? It's fixing the update page. Let's see what happens. So now it's at least starting again. We start the game. We have some characters here. We click the button. We're trying to start a battle system here. And just like we saw this guest instance is not, which we already did see. I could see it right here. And where was it? I think it was in this manager. Troop ID is that what we're seeing? Let me see. Oh, it's in the core. Troop ID. Yeah, so yeah, that's where we're at. We're seeing this troop ID is not accessible here. Fine, fine. Let's see what we can't do to fix that. Which is also simple enough. Copy that. Cool. What's it telling us? It's telling us it's because the actual initialize method should be, let's add the missing methods. Okay, sure, let's add it. So we gotta add this script. Yep, that's what seems to be missing. Yeah, none of that was there. Look at that. Let's see, it's got some extra. Yeah, look at it. It's got all this in the constructor. New map, player. So what does it do? New map, player, current interpreter, no. apply this. Added an end is active. Step unit. Oh yeah, that's what was missing. Was this setup units in particular? Hide non-battle events. This is all necessary too, right? Did I not press the apply button? Does not want to apply for some reason. Go look. Well, let's just copy these then. Because it's not applying for some reason. I don't know why. So we've got the war map manager, this active faults, units. This is all troop ID, null. We get into the get instance. Oh, is active. And for some reason, this one doesn't have. This is active. Like for some reason. Let's just go ahead and get all of this. All this needs to go in there. I'll get all this processing and turn up. Copy that. And this needs to all go right here. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Bam. Paste all that. That's what it's trying to do. Get all these commands, which I'd already set up. So now let's take a look what happens here. See, it doesn't have any of these functions, the initialize functions. So we tried again. Got this game, press the button. Got all these characters, you can see they're walking. Let's click on this. War map unit, okay. It used to start up, but now it does not start up. Now we have this war map unit is not defined. So that's on this page. Let's just go ahead and click that. Actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and click this whole thing because there's quite a bit going on. But we're going to go to this page, 61. That is War Manager 61. So it's telling us this error is at. Bam. This guy. Yeah, you can see it's unresolved. So let's just go ahead and tell it right here. It's unresolved. It goes from 61 down to what, 59? Where's 59? Which is the callback. Okay, never mind. So it's telling us that we need to create a war map unit class to represent battle units. So yeah, we need a new file, but we already have the units. So I guess we don't have units. It's going to make a war map unit. I thought there was a war map unit. We did have a war map unit at one point. The war map core. But now we've taken it out and he wants to put it at the very beginning now. So that's interesting. So what we've had to do is we've had to pull them out to make them more global because they were in our files, but they weren't accessible at the point. So now we've got to go ahead and make a new plugin. And then it wants us to upload this one, which again, we don't need to upload this. We don't, because that we can just do it in the RPG Maker. Then it says it's got some classes. Okay, so we got player unit, actor, move range. Look, it even has a move range and attack range. We've added all these, or for enemies, move range, attack range. Make sure to move any duplicate window, war map manager equals, okay, like the end of, they're not needed and could cause issues. So first off, we need to make this file. Right here, we'll go ahead and create a file from the snippet. So then we're going to come to the RPG Maker after that. We're going to come to the actual, talking about the unit manager. And we're just going to go ahead and okay that. But I am going to move it above the map manager like it was saying. Apply that, okay. And then it's saying that we could, we don't need to do this because now that is fixed. Let's see, that's that. This guy is fixed. So we can do a move range and an attack range. Move range and an attack range. And it also wants us to, so hold on, let me get this move range, attack range. Which kind of sucks because we're already doing it here. Move range. Attack range 2, right? Is that how it said? Attack range. Copy that, and we'll just do that for everybody for right now. Apply, okay. Apply, okay. Apply, okay. Hopefully I did that right. All right, let's hope that works. Apply, okay. And then it also said it wanted me to remove something. Hold on, what did it want me to do? It wanted me to remove any duplicate this, like on the Pathfinder. So that's this guy at the bottom. Oh look, it's doing something. Yes. Let's change that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't seem to be working. Wait. What the heck, man? I guess this doesn't do what I was thinking it does. One map manager is active. So see, we're gonna get an error here because this is trying to say is active, which wasn't the case just a moment ago. Oh, let's redo that. Okay, let's see this. Let's get rid of that. Let's say this is gonna stick around for right now. Let's not worry about that. Save this. Let's see what happens. Rid of this guy. So the game starts. We're gonna flip the switch. Great. So now we are working on a player phase. So now we have a player phase going on. See, nothing can really happen. Nothing's really happening. But it has started the phases. So at this point, we need to make some sort of UI. Okay, so now if we make a UI, I'm moving things around here. I gotta make a UI. That UI's gotta, first off, I guess we gotta see whose turn it is what we really gotta see. So I guess what I'll put something. I guess I think I want you to be able to move around the map first by moving your direction keys, right? Or we gotta, let's see, you gotta be able to choose. It'll actually choose your whoever. Let me see. Maybe I gotta put a UI to show the order. Maybe that's what I gotta do. First, the order. Something that represents the order, right? And then from there, we can decide how to move around the map, maybe move the map up and down. And what else? Maybe uh, click on your we got to be able to open up a move for the player. We got to be able to target our player and move them. Hold on. I'm going to take some time real quick, take a break. All right, let's see. So now we're in the battle system. Technically, anything that's not a battler is disappearing, but we don't really know whose turn it is, and we don't have any way to control anybody. So let's first off, what I want to do is I want to make a bigger map. So let's edit the map. Let's do 50 by 50. So now we got a much bigger map. We'll go ahead and change some stuff here. Let's, I don't know, we'll get some more grass, I guess. Fill that up. Where's my little bucket? I don't even know where my bucket's at. There's my bucket. So now I've got a bucket. Let's make some dirt, I guess. I'm gonna make some patches of dirt. So we could have a pretty big map to see if we can't. Great. And I'm gonna go ahead and put some rocks too, I guess, for right now. We're outside, so put some rocks, put some rocks, put some rocks. This isn't the greatest map, but whatever. Put some rocks, put some rocks. Great. Now let's go back to the events. Move everybody around. I'm gonna move this guy down here. In fact, we're gonna move him over here. Move this guy over here. This guy over here. Move this guy right over here. Let's go down. Move him over here. Move him over here. Move over here. And it'll be like we're right there. Great, great, great. The bad guys, I'm gonna move over here, and I'll move this guy over here. And let's move this person over here. This person will move right here. Bam. It's not like they all got some cover or whatever. Save that. Let's check out what happens. So we do have where the camera is moving to the person whose turn it is. So that is working. So when we target that person, now we need to maybe add a diamond around them. Let's add a cursor around them. A border around them. Let's make them darker and bordered. Let's see. Well, let's see. Okay. So that's probably going to be in the unit manager, I imagine. When a unit has a turn, the map currently highlight, what is it, centers on them. However, I need to also make them blink. No. Give them a border around the square tile they are on. Update the code. Just vibing, just vibing. So let's see what it says it wants to do. So it says it's going to create a new class to handle the visual selection border and update the scene map to use it. First, let's create a new file. So it's got a new file, a unit cursor. Just cool. So we got a unit cursor. It's going to make a sprite unit cursor. Going to extend the sprite unit. Let's see the initialize. Creates a bitmap, draws a border, updates. That's pretty cool. So it's doing all of this. And it's going to update the scene map. Create a unit cursor. See, it already has a create unit cursor. And then we need to add a method to get the current unit in Worldbuilding Manager. So then it wants to go to the Worldbuilding Manager. So first off, let's create this. So you can see it made a war cursor right here. So we got the cursor, the unit, war map unit cursor. So great, that's a unit cursor. It's just a class. Then we need to add a method to get the current unit in the war map manager. So we go to the war map manager. Apply that. See what it does. Add this method to the war map manager. So we add that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Doesn't really do anything else except so yep. Then it wants the unit, the manager, unit cursor. So let's go back. Add the unit cursor. Where the core is getting kind of out of hand. And then says this will create a white border around the currently active units tile. And for example, blah blah blah, the cursor will automatically follow the unit as the map scrolls, show when a unit is active, hide when no unit is selected, update its position every frame, work with both player and enemy units. Okay, sure. Let's see if that works. Just X out of all that. Save changes to the game, which is the plugins. We'll go ahead and start. Everything's working. We get this. Let's start a new game. So remember, if you look, I got all this. I can see everybody on the map. This guy, these people. Click it, starts the player phase. You can see how there is now a so I can move around the map. You can see how I'm moving around the map. So I guess you can see me moving around the map, which is pretty cool because that's just a character. So now I'm moving around the map. Okay, so that's actually the player. So I can change a player. And you can see how I've got a little border around it. It's a tiny little border. So I can change that. But that's pretty cool for right now. So that's working. So at least now I know who's got the turn, right? So now what I gotta figure out is okay, so let's see what it did. So that was kind of a cool unit cursor. See what it did. Created this sprite unit cursor, which extends the sprite. So it initializes with this unit, create a bitmap, it hides it. You get this create bitmap, get your tile width, your tile height. Okay, you get your bitmap. Sure, that's just, okay, draw the border. So now you draw a border, which I believe that's what it says. This will create a white border around the currently active units tile. You customize it. For example, change the border color for thickness, adjust the color in line with variables. The cursor will automatically follow the unit as the map scrolls. Show when a unit is active. Hide when no unit is selected. Update its position every frame. Okay. So Now we need to see that if it is a player unit, so now if it is a player unit, we need to see a choice. And that choice needs to be move and skill, right? Move and action. You got to do some sort of action. So now these guys are supposed to move, right? Excuse me. So the idea is that these guys move, and they come bam, bam, bam. And the bad guys are moving too. Boom, 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 boom. And you've got so many moves. And then they can attack each other. Bam. You attack this person attacks this person. Or maybe I come over here, boom, and I want to heal this person. So that's what we got to do, right? We got to move, and we've got to do a skill, which is either going to be an attack or a support spell. Right? An attack or a support spell. I think that would be a good way of dividing the spells into either attack or it's going to be attack or support. And when you move, you're going to move in a certain amount of spaces, depending on probably maybe your speed. I don't know. We'll figure out the agility. We'll maybe add some. Everybody will have like a base move, and maybe you can set a note tag to determine if how many spaces the character can move. I think if I read this, I did do this movement and attack range. Move range and attack range, and I think I really want to move the move range and the attack range should actually be on not the events, but on the characters, right? So now we're going to go to characters. And I think we're probably going to do it on classes. We can do it on classes and we can do it on actors. So every actor is going to have a class, right? We already know that. The actor's got to have a class. Bam, they got a class. And the classes will dictate how far they can go. But we can also do the actors have their own speed as well, just in case you want to move actors and classes. So actors are going to have a move speed and an attack speed, the classes. But actors, I think, should be able to add to it. So let's go with classes for now. What we'll do is we'll update the code so that instead of it being in the events, well, first off, let's forget all that. For now, I'm going to move this so we can keep this kind of going. I'm going to move him over here so we make sure that we know that it's working. So over here, and let's see what happens again. What happens is you start the game. Okay, we got my player, blah, blah, blah. We start the battle, player phase. We see the player phase is working. That's exactly where my guy is at. We come here, he's got a border around him. We'll update and fix that border at a later time. I don't really care about it right now because I want to give them options on maybe how thick the border is and the color of the border. And I do also want to make like your character blinking. You know what I mean? Like the character should blink, I think. But I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm trying to move on to build a little bit more into this. We'll come back to that. Instead, what should happen is there should be a message at the bottom of the screen. It should be honestly, let's take a look at what you can do in actions. Because when you come to actions, you can do show choices. So you want to show choices. And your choices are going to be move or act, right? Move or act. Move, attack, support. So your attack is going to be based off of whatever the skills are learned by the classes. So if you press attack, it'll search through your skills, right? And then your skills, it will let you select a skill and then let you select an enemy, right? I guess first when you attack, you got to select an enemy. You got to be able to select an enemy. If you can't select an enemy, you can't attack, right? So you got to select an enemy, then you can attack. At which point you do whatever skill you're presenting, right? So, but if you move, you've got to be able to see your movement. So let's work on the move, because we got to work on the move speed first. So you've got to be able to move, and once you move somewhere, you need a. Is that maybe you should move first, right? Act or move? Move. I think move and then act, right? You don't want to be able to act, move, act, right? Does that make sense? Act, move, act. Maybe support? No, because you got to move first. So you got to choose the location to move. So you move and then you can act or support. So you got to move. So let's see. So your choices are to actually, so it's not a choice. You're going to move. You can move in the same spot where you just stay still. I guess you can move or stay still, right? Move or stay still. If you move, you can move as far as your. Okay, well okay. Now I remember. All right. That kind of makes sense. So let's go back. First, what we're trying to do is we're trying to move the move range and the attack range to the class for the player. Oh yeah, that's another thing because that's the player. If you think about it, you move to the player. You can move to the actor, but you're going to move to their class. You're going to put it right here. The enemies, you want to put it in the notes still. Okay. Okay. First, we need to move the note tag for move, range, and attack range. For the player units, these tags must be read from the actor's class. From the enemy units, it should be read from the enemy note tag. Class note tags. From the enemy, it should be read. Update the code. So it's saying let's move the war map unit class to movement. So we got the unit class, right? The unit manager. The war map unit, which is this guy. To read movement and attack ranges from the appropriate node tags. So blah blah blah. It's moving the tags. Enemy ID, so we got it from the actor, blah. Set up battler. So it's making some changes. Now you can set up your units like this for player units in the class database notes. See, we got our move range and our attack range changed over. It should now be for the player units, it's in the class. For the enemy units, it's in the enemy database notes. In the event, you only need to specify for player units. For enemy units. Okay, so the change means the movement and attack ranges are now tied to the class enemy type rather than the individual events, which is what we want. And all units of the same class will have the same movement and attack range, which is great. Enemy units can have different ranges based on their enemy type, which is also fine. The ranges are more maintainable as they're defined in the database rather than the event notes. Great. So we haven't made any of these changes yet. We got to apply them. Scroll up. Let's collapse this. But let's the war map unit. Okay, yeah. So we've got some changes here in the code where we've got the setup battler unit range, setup enemy unit range. That's pretty cool. So we've got setup player unit range where we've got the battler. Do we return it if we don't got a battler? Set up the actor's class data. We get their class data, return, move range, move range. Okay. Attack range. The enemy data as well. Okay, so accept it because that works for that. That was all one file. Now you can set up your units like this: move range and attack range, move range and attack range. And we do it in the class and we do it in the enemy instead of doing it in the events, which is great because that's what I'm looking for. So now let's move it out of, okay, so now what we're going to do is let's zoom out, I guess. Zoom out so we can see all these guys. I'm going to save this and I'm going to get it into, remember we just kind of saved it for everybody. Move range, attack range. I'm going to X out of that. No, let's see. Move range, let's see. There you go. Move range and attack range, X. I'm going to do that for everybody. Apply that, okay, hold on. So we do that there. Who's this? This guy. X out of that. Let's just do all that. Apply. Do it over here where we want to do it on this. Delete. Apply. Okay. Over here to this guy. This guy, we did that too. Get rid of all that. Apply. Okay. We want to do it to the enemies as well. Apply. Okay. Here we got that enemy. Apply. Okay. Now what we're going to do, save that. Go back to the database. We're going to go to the classes. First off, we're going to do the actors. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 is the classes, right? Remember that. We've got swordsman, martial artist. So we really got to go to these swordsmen and martial artists. That's what we can do for now. Oh, and we also got to put them in the enemy. Okay, we're going to go put them in the enemy. Enemies, we're going to put them in this goblin because we both got them in the goblin. Let's save all that. Now that's really just going to save. Let's make sure that everything works. Because we're not going to be able to see any of this. We're just going to make sure that it works. You go here, you start the battle. Here's the first guy. Great. You can't see anything, but everything is working as expected. Look at, okay, because, let's see, what happens here? The reason why is because everything's working as we expected. Okay, no, never mind. Forget that. So now we're going, what happens next? So we've done that. We need to open the menu system for move, right? So we've got to be able to move. When the user has a turn, a message box at the bottom of the screen needs to appear. It needs to tell them, well, I guess it needs to let you press move. I guess it needs to be a choice box to let you choose to move or stay still. If the user selects stay still, they then have the option to attack, support, or end their move. However, if they select to move, they need to see the tiles they can move to depending on their move range. So let's go with that. So we're telling them if they attack, we'll attack later, but if they move, we need to see the tiles they can move to depending on their move range. So it's got some information here. Okay. So let's see what it's telling us here now. So it's telling us it wants to make a new file. Well, let's see. For the Windows, let's create a system for unit commands, movement tiles, visualization. Yeah, makes sense because you got to create a window for unit commands. So it's got this. So let's go ahead and build this file because that's going to blah, blah, blah. War map Windows. You can see it has it built it? Build it? We didn't build it. Let's try it again. got this unit command. It's got a window command. War map windows. So we did do the windows over here. It looks like I made two of these when it should just be UI controller. So I don't think I need both of these. What just happened here? So it added this whole file, but look at it, added it twice. War map windows. But where? Unit manager. Still got these. That looks like that's right. Let me make sure I got this right. Come on, man. So right here. So we're saying we need the war map unit. War map manager, war map windows, unit cursor, core pathfinder battle. Okay, so that means I need to have some sort of war map windows. I think that's actually unit command manager. So let's see, is that the right order? Talk about the war map unit, map managers, windows, which is unit commander in my account. Then unit cursor, core, pathfinder, battle manager. Okay. That's what I've got then. I don't know why it's set up as unit command manager. Okay, so unit command manager. Unit command manager. Move, stay, attack, support, or end turn. Okay, great. See what happens. Theoretically, that means when it is my turn, I should be able to move. Well, I should at least be able to look. This window height is not a function. So what's going on here? Let's go ahead and click this. It's telling me from the unit command manager. Right there. So from this war map windows, unit command manager, blah. Okay, so let's see what's going on. And what file was it? It's talking about console command unit command manager 20. So unit command manager 20. And it's saying it's right around here. Something's going on with this right here. Hold on, let me read what's going on here. So it's saying we're gonna fix the window unit command initialization. Because we need to calculate the window height based on the number of visible rows. So it has some sort of war map windows. Look at this. We apply this. I can apply it. It says it removes the window width. Since we're passing width directly, changes the initialization to use the RMZ window parameter. So we calculate the window height. And we made the window height accommodate up to 5 command rows. Okay, sure, why not? So I'm just going to update this file. Let's see what happens. It does update some constants, the X and Y. You can see it's got the box width minus 240 versus this window height. This calculates, so it's got changes, initialize it at width 240. X, Y. Okay, great. I don't care. That seems right to me. Window width, it gets rid of that 240 by normal. And sure, let's accept all. So now we're Xing out of this. I'm just going to go ahead and save this number. Cancel this. Save. Save, save. And now we're going to, let's try it again. We run it. Start this game. Look at it. It's telling me this calculate window is not a function. So it is giving me some issues. calculate window height is not a function at this particular. Oh, I guess we don't have a window height. Well, let's say again, let's tell it we don't got this calculate window height. It thinks it's got this calculate window height, but it doesn't. So it goes to the unit command. Is that what I've got? I've got the windows though. Yeah, the window unit command. Look at this. You need to use window bases method for calculating dimensions. So window unit command extends window command. Initialize unit. It's talking about unit command. MZ use strict. Let's see, we get some hide. Deactivate, initialize X and a Y. Height and width. We also fitting height. What is this fitting height? Look, you get fitting height, line height. So we get some more. So let's correct the window command. We need to use window bases method for calculating directions, dimensions. So let me calculate this. So you calculate that, and then changes are added our own fitting height, line height, and standard padding. Okay, this should, okay, why not? We're gonna apply this to this unit command manager. Got some changes that are kind of crazy, but let's go accept all. So now again, let's see what's happening. Save this, play this. What is happening? We're gonna click this. Okay, great. We've got to move or stay. Move, stay, move, stay, move, stay. Meanwhile, we can also move across the map. I can move across the map using okay, so at least I can choose. Okay, there it is. Move and stay. So there's also a problem when I click the move and stay that my camera is moving. See, like you see, I just move, move. So what I should do is I should look at. Move and stay, and then on top of that, I noticed that if I move my mouse around, so these are also things I got to work on. Hold on, let me take another break. Okay, I've got an additional option. So what's happening is that when you click on it, the map, you can still move. When it's my turn, I can still move. I need to disable the ability to move unless I press move or stay, and then I'm going to do map. In addition to move or stay does not let you move the map. Move the invisible character. Only map will. So if they press move, they'll see where they can actually move. If they click stay, they'll have the option to attack or support. But if they map, then okay, let's do that. If they map, currently when the user has a turn, they can click the map to move the invisible character. This lets them move around the map. However, this should not happen when the user has the option to move or stay still. Or move or stay. Move or stay. Move or stay. Prevent. Update the code so that clicking on the map does not move the player. Additionally, add another option besides move and stay called map. This select map. Then they can move around the map to see where all the players and actors are at. However, when select map, they will see options to return. When they return, the map should center on the current player's turn. Okay, so we're writing some more. Let's see what it does here. So let's see what's happening. It says let's update the window unit command class. So it's add map command to initial options. So now you got the map command. Besides move and action, you're gonna also have, because let's see, what was it? Move, stay. You're gonna also have map. Then you can let's see, toggle return and maybe use the implementation tool. Show, move, stay, map. Only allow map scrolling in map mode. Center back on the active unit when returning from map mode. Prevent player movement during normal command selection. Okay, great. Let's update that. Yeah, that makes sense because that's the unit command. We'll update that. So we got some changes here. It's got some height. If is map mode, return. We're gonna add the map. Is map mode false? Blah blah blah. Set map mode. What is all this? The create unit, set handler, move, stay, map, return, attack, support, and end. All right. Let's check it. I'm going to accept them all. Save this again. We'll press the play button. And now when we're playing, we'll check out this new game. So we're going to start the battle. You can see here's the player phase. Move, stay, map. I can't move anywhere, which is cool. Move, nothing happens. So it breaks that move. Okay. Great. That's fine because we're not working on that yet. Next, we're gonna start this battle. We already tried move, let's try stay. Okay, we've got a problem with stay, which is not important at the moment. Great, that's fine. What we want to check now is we want to actually check the map function. Let's get it. We go right here, we're gonna map it. And then when we map it, we should be able to move around the page. I don't see it returning me. It doesn't let me move around the map. So it returns and everything's fine, but it doesn't let me move. So move is not, so we need to check map. When map is selected, okay, all right, so when map is selected, the user needs to be able to move around the map. This means that the arrow keys, user can use the arrow keys or the mouse to move the invisible player to see the map into the map. All right, so yeah, I need to be able to see the map when I select map. So what does it want to do then? Okay, it says it wants to modify the enable map movement during map mode. This is unit window command. Made the player character semi-transparent, invisible during map mode. Enabled both keyboard and mouse movement during map mode. Increase movement speed during map mode for faster exploration. Properly handled touch mouse input for map navigation. Ensures the player is hidden again when returning from map mode. Okay, so let's apply this. It's going to be this unit command manager. So it's got a few changes here. It's got this player movement. See, transparent, set opacity. It's got a transparent mode. Override player restrictions. Only allows movement if map mode. All right, well, let's see if this works. You've got this whole game player move speed during the map mode. So that's interesting. So again, this is all just built. We're not doing anything. This is just the AI. The vibe coding, let's save this. Play this again. Got the game. We've got this player character to click on it. Move, stay, map. When we select map, that's what we're working on. What's happening? We can use the sort of uses it. What is this? This is not right. So this is kind of interesting. It works, but it's not right. You see how I've got the characters, they're like invisible. If I press the return button, but if I press the map, that doesn't work. I gotta fix that if I don't press the maps. I still gotta work on this because this is not working right. Well, you see what I'm saying is I'm starting this battle. Here comes a guy. We gotta move, stay, map. Map. We want to be able to select a character. And you can see that people are going to show up. Where are they? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? They're visible, but they're not visible. You press return, there they are. So we don't want to see that. Yeah, so we don't want to see that. So the instant player wants to move there. If you press return, bam. That makes more sense. So we want to be able to move back. Okay, great. I can do that. We can do that. In the meantime, I'm about an hour and a half into this podcast, or into this. Quite honestly, it's just a stream. This is what development looks like now with AI. So I did just want to point that out. Kind of, this is what AI is looking like. This is what a developer is doing in modern day development. I mean, I'm a professional. I don't work in Word. I don't work in RPG Maker particularly, but I am a software developer. I do work with JavaScript, and I do work with PHP, and I work with servers, and this is stuff that I do working on a daily basis, and I am working with AI, so this is what it's looking like. So if you're interested, please subscribe, please like the video. I'll continue doing more. This is kind of a slow process. It's not the fastest process. Just like anything in development, it did take a while. It does take a while. You still do have to realize what is going on in the development stages. But you can see that I'm making a plugin that lets you do a tactical battle system, which is what I'm going for. So this is a tactical battle system. It's letting you choose movements. It's letting you choose a map. It's letting you go around. It's just starting, but I will continue going forward. This is development with vibe coding. Let me know if you have any ideas of what else I should look at. Thanks.